It is Mikey Moore's world and we are all just living in it. Tottenham 1, AZ Alkmaar 0. 9 points out of 9 in the Europa League, maintaining that perfect start in the competition, going joint top with a couple of other teams in the Europa League, but doing exactly what we all wanted at the start of the season, which is taking the Europa League seriously, winning the group stage games and getting into a fantastic position to qualify for those knockouts. Look, it wasn't the best performance in the world tonight, but there were plenty of positives to take out of it. Ange made a lot of changes to the starting 11. We saw Richarlison come back in as that striker. We saw Mikey Moore getting another start, his first full home debut in front of the N17 crowd, and they lapped it up. They loved it. He came off in the last couple of minutes to a standing ovation, rightfully so, because in the second half, wow, what a performance and what a talent we have on our hands. I genuinely cannot believe how good that fella is. Just his confidence to want to take on and beat his man and either pick out the pass or unleash a shot. And the thing is, he's so good at it. And I think he knows it, and he's using his abilities that he has, which is really, really amazing to see. So, it's a big night for Mikey Moore. On another day, he should have scored that early chance from Timo Werner's ball into him. He should have put it in the back of a net, and he'd be wheeling away, celebrating, and he would have all of the headlines after that game. But alas, unfortunately, he didn't. However, it was still probably the most impressed I've been with him in the senior side and in one of those big games for Mikey Moore. And there is definitely more to come from the young lad. 17 years old. What a player we have on our hands. Look, listen, tonight, I think he has proved to Ange Postecoglou, hands down, without a doubt, that he should be ahead in the pecking order than Timo Werner. Because Timo Werner, look, I don't want to publicly slate the guy and go all in on him and talk about how bad he is, because he's a really nice bloke, bless him, and he just wants to do well. He doesn't want to play poorly, but he's not at the standard. He's not at the level. Mikey Moore is much, much better than him. Timo Werner, I think you could put him through on goal 100 times and he'd score, 2 or 3? 5 if we're being maybe generous. He just has no confidence in front of goal. So hopefully that is the end of Timo starting in front of Mikey Moore. It was really, really nice to see Wilson Odobert come back as well and get a few minutes at the end of the game. These are all the positives I'm taking out of it. The first half, we could gloss over the first half so quickly. Obviously, we had that Mikey Moore chance. Fraser Forster had to make a couple of big saves. Credit to him tonight. I think he was much better than what we saw in that game against Coventry in the Carabao Cup last month, or whenever it was now. Radu Dragusin at the back. First couple of games he played for Tottenham, I was really, really happy with him. But recently, I'm not as sure. He just looks a bit like he's lacking a bit of composure. But Archie Gray, again, brilliant at right back. Still want to see him in midfield, mind you. But he had a good game as well. Lucas Bergvall, top tonight, top. Hopefully that injury he came off with is nothing serious, because I thought he was really, really bright and positive today. James Maddison, I knew he would start tonight. I knew he'd have the captain's armband. We needed him to step up, and I do think, especially in that first half when things weren't going great, he was the best player for Tottenham. So nice to see him playing really well, and hopefully he'll go straight back into that team on Sunday against Crystal Palace. Really good to get Sonny some minutes off the pitch and let him rest, nurse up. Brennan Johnson had to come on in the second half. I thought he looked bright. Solanke came on to help with some pressing as well. Papsar, Rodrigo Bentancur, we talk about him all the time and how good he was. But look, the second half was so much better than the first half. I think the first half, I think maybe we can just gloss over it. We don't really need to talk about it because nothing really happened. There wasn't really too much positive that we can talk about from that first half. The second half was where it was at. Obviously, Lucas Bergvall getting in behind and then winning that penalty with a bit of help from James Maddison, of course. So, it was nice to see. And then we couldn't have it simple, could we? We had to have two players arguing over who's going to take the penalty. Look, I know Richie took it and I know he scored, but James Maddison is the captain. James Maddison was obviously the designated penalty taker. The fact that Richarlison argued with him in the first place and initially didn't give him the ball, then you shouldn't be doing that, Richie. Look, I know he's come back from an injury. I know he just wanted to get a goal, get his confidence back, get off the mark. I completely understand that. That's your captain's decision. That's your manager's decision. You shouldn't be taking the ball off of the captain and arguing with them back. So it's a bad look around the whole stadium. And it puts more pressure then on who has to take the penalty. James Maddison took the ball off him eventually and then decided, okay, fine, we'll let you take it, Richie. And to be fair to the guy, he did put away a nice penalty straight down the middle, nice and composed. And I know they were laughing and joking about it afterwards. But for me, it was just a little bit unnecessary. And that was the only goal of the game. We should have had more. There were more chances in the second half. Brendan Johnson had a few. Kulusevski. We should have had a penalty at the end, a second penalty. Odegaard, a really, really high challenge on his ankle. They looked at it and I'm baffled as to how they didn't give it as a second penalty. So we should have had two penalties. Should have finished 2-0 really at the minimum. AZ Alkmaar didn't really offer much. I wasn't expecting them to. Nice to see Troy Parrott, of course, back at Tottenham. I thought he had an okay game, to be fair to him, but I don't think he's proved since going away that he was going to be that generational replacement for Harry Kane. But for Tottenham, overall, a really, really positive night, making it 3 wins out of 3, getting to the top of that Europa League table, and now the games start getting tough, which is why it was so imperative to win these early games. Get off to a good start, and now we've got the likes of Galatasaray, Roma, Rangers, all coming up in a row. Tough games. So it's really important to get those wins, especially the one tonight. Keep that perfect record, and we move on to Galatasaray. But let me know what you thought of the game tonight. What did you make of Mikey Moore, most importantly? James Maddison said after the game in that second half, it looked like we had Neymar on the wing for 45 minutes. So that is how highly he thinks of Mikey Moore. So let me know what you think. Did you go to the game tonight? Just get down in the comments below, start a conversation with me. I will get back to every single one of you. I hope you enjoyed my reaction to the game. It is on to Sunday, Crystal Palace away, a tough game. I think it's 7 wins out of 8 now for Tottenham. So it'll be really, really great to keep that momentum going. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will speak to you ahead of the game at the weekend. As always, come on you Spurs.